I hit on a 19-year-old at a bar, and her friends called me R. Kelly and humiliated me with a sing-along I didn't deserve. So I'm 31 and recently ended a long-term relationship. I was so broken, and not long ago, I went to this cool restaurant and bar downtown with one of my buddies to have a good time. Anyone of any age can come in. While we were there was a girl who was celebrating her 19th birthday. They sang happy birthday and they were allowed an outside cake with 19 on it. The birthday girl was pretty, so I wanted to go chat her up. Her friends were super cute too. My buddy told me to leave them alone and that they looked like babies. He didn't want to go over at first, but since the breakup, every other woman but my ex has been invisible. So he went to Wingman with me. We walked over and wished her a happy birthday. I thought things were going well and the women were laughing. Then all of a sudden one of the girls snaps at me to take a freaking hint, R. Kelly. I was taken aback and just said excuse me. She said to read the room and that they were uncomfortable. Another asked us to go away. I was going to go, but I was really bothered by the R. Kelly comment. I said it's seriously messed up to call me a predator when we are all adults here. My buddy wanted to leave, but I stood my ground. The birthday woman said that it didn't matter. It's weird for someone my age to hit on them, especially when they make it obvious that they are uncomfortable. Then made another R. Kelly comment by asking if she looked like Aaliyah to me, which upset me again. I apologized for making them uncomfortable, but that didn't give them the right to call me a predator. One of the women said it was a personal problem. I said that adults are allowed to hit on the adults. It's not a crime. One woman just asked why I was still standing there and yelled at me to go away. I was pissed off, and when I left, their entire table was singing Remix to Ignition and laughing so hard. I was furious and humiliated. When we sat back down, I was seething. My buddy said that it was my fault for not seeing the signs that they were uncomfortable. To him it was obvious, so he wanted to go. He called me delusional. I pointed out that they were laughing and he said it was just uncomfortable laughter. I told him that I had every right to be mad about being called a predator when they were all 18 to 19. It's a horrible accusation to make. My ex was 6 years older than me. He said that they weren't calling me a predator, just weird for going for teens. He said it was wrong of them to sing after me and that was bullying. But I should have left long before that. I felt like he should have stuck up for me. Was I wrong for sticking up for myself or for hitting on them in the first place? I was respectful and not creepy at all too. Edit, for the record, I do date women my age and older. This was the first time I approached much younger women. Edit, alright guys, I get it. I let my pride get in the way of things here. Can't fix it, we'll do better next time.
One of the young women in the group at the restaurant found the post and made her own post to respond. Posted by u/new. I have never had a Reddit account before, but my journalism TA showed us it, and sometimes I'll just check the front page for news. Earlier, I saw a post up there that basically described my birthday dinner from about 3 weeks ago. At first, I didn't care, but now I just feel the need to clarify a few things. Even though most people called him a jerk, some got upset about the R. Kelly comment and singing Ignition. Was it mean? Yes. But I'm done being nice to creeps. This was not a bar. It was a bar and grill, but it was mainly a restaurant that just happened to serve drinks. We were sitting near a family, so we weren't in a setting where people go to get hit on. We were minding our business and laughing in the corner booth. He came over and wished me a happy birthday. I said thanks, and we all went back to our conversation. I did appreciate being told happy birthday. But he stuck around. We laughed uncomfortably and tried to go back to our conversation, but he wouldn't leave and kept interrupting us. Each time he said something, we nodded and turned our backs to him. We said, thank you, bye, a few times, but he was still standing there, talking to us. His friend kept finding excuses to leave. I was annoyed, uncomfortable, and disgusted, but I gave him a respectful, okay, have a good night. Here's some cake for home. Bye. But then he grabbed the cake and sat down in our booth. He said, the night's not over yet. At that point, my friend just snapped, and if she hadn't, I was about to. When she called him R. Kelly, she wasn't accusing him of being a pedo but of being a creep. 30-year-old guys hitting on us is creepy and disgusting, point blank, period. We were nice the entire time, and I even gave him a million hints and cake for the road. His friend was clearly trying to get them out of there. Then he had the audacity to stand there and argue with us about it. I told him that he was way too old for us, and that it was creepy from the start. When he finally left, we started singing Ignition among ourselves, not at him. It's a throwback song our parents introduced us to. Instead of crying over our night being ruined by a creep, we turned it into a fun moment with karaoke. P.S. When he asked us our ages and told us his, we got a million times more uncomfortable. The guy was 30 and trying to hit on 18-year-olds at a birthday dinner. We're used to old men bothering us, and it's always gross. To the if he was an ugly crowd, he was a decent-looking, fit guy. If I'd never met him, I'd set him up with my aunt, but he was in his 30s, and that is way too old. This isn't an adult X-rated video, and I haven't met a single girl desperate for 30-year-old divorced thong. Being called legal is demeaning. Everything about it was sickening. When he came over, announced his age, and then asked us ours, I almost yacked. It was like he was IDing us. At a family restaurant. Hell outta here. I'm tired of having to be polite to guys who are creepy and disrespectful. Edit, 30-year-olds aren't gross for being 30. Everyone gets older. 30-year-olds who bother you to flirt during your birthday dinner are